Hello and welcome to all of viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global TV. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ubong Osoro. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channels 365 and Star Times 276. The federal government has confirmed that it has commenced evacuation plans for a group of Nigerians stranded in Bambari, a remote town in the Central African Republic, about 850 kilometers from the capital, Bangui. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, through its spokesperson, Kemibi Ebifa, said officials from the Nigerian embassy in Bangui have recovered the victims' passports and dispatched a vehicle under military escort to bring them to the capital by Saturday, July the 26th. The response follows a viral video showing the abandoned workers allegedly deserted by their sponsors, prompting a swift diplomatic intervention and negotiations for temporary shelter. The Federal Ministry of Education have refuted claims that the minimum age for admission into junior secondary school 1 have been increased to 12 years. In a statement issued in Abuja, the Director of Press, Folase Boriu, clarified that the official policy remains 10 years for JSS 1 and 16 years for university entry. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alaosa, reiterated that the age benchmark are based on cognitive and emotional readiness, urging parents and media to rely solely on verified information. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has issued a public alert over rising cases of fake airline ticket promotions used by scammers to steal financial data. EFCC spokesperson Dele Olewale expressed that fraudsters use malwares and social engineering to lure victims into downloading fake apps, paying tokens like 500 naira, and unknowingly giving up their account details. The Commission revealed that the scheme is driven by young Nigerians who act as account suppliers and sell stolen Know Your Customers KYC data to fintech platforms for quick cash. President Bola Tinubu has called on all Progressive Congress governors to focus more on grassroots engagement to meet the expectations of Nigerians. The president made the call at the 14th National Executive Committee NEC meeting of the All Progressive Congress in Abuja, stressing the need for increased community engagement and greater responsiveness to citizens' concerns. Kikilomo Okere has the details.
Speaking at the National Executive Committee meeting of the All Progressive Congress, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu emphasized that the party's strength lies in expanding its ranks and encouraged the new national chairman to establish a national working committee which members will visit states, ensuring that all new members are seamlessly registered and integrated. The president thanked the former national chairman of the APC, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, for his contribution to the development and ideology's clarity.
Wobbling, confused, is today stabilized, and we are making progress. One of our ardent critics at the earlier part of this administration reported the stride in the revenue, 43% achievement by now.
The president further urged the governors to work collectively to leave behind a lasting legacy, including a building party secretariat in Abuja. President Tinubu welcomed new entrants into the APC, including Governor Umar Eno of Akwa Ibom State, Governor Sharif Oborivori of Delta State, and other key political figures.
I'm proud to say that the team is working. And for you, you've done so much for our party, encouraging and supporting us. With peace, stability, we will do more. The administration's commitment to renew the hope of Nigerians is clear.
In his acceptance speech, Professor Natere Urada, the new national chairman of the APC, pledged to work diligently to build the party into a strong and respected political institution.
I do not take this mandate for granted. I want to accept it with gratitude and with my full heart and full mind to work together with you to build the party, knowing that all of us here are the mechanics of the party, and the party is our vehicle, and we'll fix it and move it to our destination of choice.
Professor Urada, who will step down from his role as Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, called for support and cooperation of all party members. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has scheduled its national convention for Saturday, November the 15th to Sunday, November the 16th, 2025 in Ibadan, Oyo State. This was part of resolutions reached at the National Executive Committee NEC meeting held in Abuja. The NEC mandated the acting national chairman, Ambassador Umar Damogu, and the national secretary, Senator Samuel Ayanu, to officially write to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Ubong Usoro has the report. The Senate has adjourned plenary to September 23, 2025, marking the end of the current legislative year. Let's go for a short break. We'll be right back. The Senate has adjourned plenary to September 23, 2025, marking the end of the current legislative year, with a directive to all committees to conclude work on pending reports ahead of resumption. Topsy Gimba has the details.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, made the announcement after a closed-door executive session that lasted for over an hour. He charged all standing and ad hoc committees to make effective use of 2-month break to finalize their assignments in order to ease legislative consideration and adoption upon resumption. In his earlier remarks, Senator Akpabio also encouraged lawmakers to use the recess period to inspect road construction projects in their constituencies and across the country.
The suspension is just plenary sittings. All ad hoc committees should continue to work. All necessary committees, the Diaspora Committee, Committee on Reparation, Committee on Interior, and others. This is the best time for you to undertake visits to prisons and all that. Do all your reports and make them available as soon as we come back. We'll have a special day to consider all reports. And then all the other committees, reports extended to you, you must also make sure that those reports are ready for Senate scrutiny when plenary commences. You are moving from plenary for the next few weeks, but you are not stopping your legislative functions.
Meanwhile, senators are expected to travel to Jos, Plateau State on Friday to attend the burial of the wife of their colleague, Senator Dike Plan, representing Plateau Central.
We will all converge at Jos to beat the wife of our colleague, the civil senator Dike Plan, Mrs. Plan, farewell as she goes back to her creator. May her soul once again rest in perfect peace.
The long recess is an annual break for countries practicing democracy around the world, which by its annual calendar ends in June of every legislative year. Topsy Gimba, reporting for Global Television News.
The Nigerian Senate has refuted recent social media claims that the Constitution Review Committee proposed creating 12 new states in Nigeria. Senator Abdul Ningi, representing Bauchi Central, dismissed the report as false during plenary under Order 42, clarifying that the committee has neither received any zonal review reports nor deliberated on state creation bills. Topsy Gimba has the details.
State is fake, is toxic, and is an irresponsible media outlet. So it is important, Mr. President, to take this matter to Nigerians that the Senate has not, for now, sat on any committee's report from the zonal levels. The main committee is yet to even received.
The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, also expressed concern about the spread of such misinformation, highlighting it.
The Federal Republic of Nigeria has not even concluded the processes of getting a final report for deliberation on constitutional amendment, and therefore no single state, proposed or otherwise, has been created. And even if that were to be the case, it will involve all the houses or assemblies in the country, and we must get their 2/3 concurrence before anything can come back to us.
Further clarifications emphasized that the ongoing constitutional review involves public hearings across Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones, gathering suggestions, including requests for new states and local government areas, but no formal decisions or approvals have been made by the Senate or its committee. Topsy Gimba reporting for Global Television News.
The House of Representatives has expressed its determination to ensure timely and accessible justice delivery in the Federal Capital Territory. This comes as lawmakers held a public hearing on 2 key bills aimed at strengthening the judiciary and expanding access to justice for residents. National Assembly correspondent Enietia Patrick reports.
The call for a more efficient justice system in the nation's capital echoed at the National Assembly complex in Abuja. Chairman House Committee on FCT Judiciary, Honorable Adamu Gamawa, says the House is determined to make justice delivery faster, more efficient, and accessible to all residents of the FCT, regardless of social class. The first bill seeks a constitutional amendment to increase the number of judges in the FCT, while the second proposes the establishment of lower courts with jurisdiction over both civil and criminal matters.
Well, there are 2 bills actually. One is to increase the number of judges in the FCT to at least no less than 100. We all know that the federal capital is expanding every day. People are coming in. Wherever you have so many people, you expect to have some disputes. So the burden of the cases on the present number of judges is very, very cumbersome.
Speaker of the House, Honorable Tajin Abbas, represented by the Deputy Minority Leader, Honorable Aliu Madaki, reaffirmed the House commitments to judicial reforms and the rule of law.
Is a direct exercise of that constitutional mandate. It affirms our commitment to check and balances, good governance, and the rule of law.
Also speaking at the hearing, President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Afam Osigwe, declared the NBA's full support for the bills, but called for reforms in customary law practices, including the removal of Section 16 of the existing provisions.
Take the cognizance of the fact that Section 15, I think, has earlier made provision that it can apply principles of common law and equity. And then also now saying it should also apply principles of common law that may create a problem. And to avoid conflict of jurisdiction, as that would also implicitly suggest that since it can apply principles of common law, then it can adjudicate on common law issues.
The House says the public hearing provides an opportunity for stakeholders to exchange ideas and fine-tune the proposed legislations to achieve effective judicial reforms. Enietia Patrick, Global Television News.
President Bola Tinubu has condoled with the Gusau Emirate over the passing of its emir, Dr. Ibrahim Bello, who died in Abuja at the age of 71 after a prolonged illness, according to palace sources and official confirmation. In a statement by his media advisor, Bayo Onanuga, Tinubu described the late emir as a man of exemplary leadership, unwavering service to his people. Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal also mourned the royal father, calling his passing a personal loss and praising his efforts towards peace and development in the state. You are watching live broadcast of Midday News. When the news returns, Tinubu meets Power Gencos approves 4 trillion bond to offset debts. Details coming shortly, plus business and foreign stories on the other side of this break. In business, President Bola Tinubu has met with power-generating companies at the presidential villa where he pledged to settle long-standing debts owed to the sector through a 4 trillion bond program. According to Presidential Advisor on Energy, Olu Veije, the president granted anticipatory approval for the bond but insisted on full audit verification before disbursement. Tinubu assured Gencos that the debts would be honored transparently. Aliko Dangote, founder of Dangote Cement PLC, has stepped down as chairman of the board. The announcement was made by the company's Group Chief Branding and Communications Officer, Anthony Jechina, who said Dangote will now focus on the refinery, petrochemicals, fertilizer, and government relations. The board also appointed Emmanuel Ikezabo, an independent non-executive director, as its successor to guide the firm's next growth phase. On the foreign scene, former president of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Joseph Kabila, is standing trials for treason in a military court in Kasanga with charges including murder, rape, and allegedly backing M23 rebels. Kabila, who had denied the charges and requested to be tried in absentia, did not appear in court as the trial was adjourned to the end of the month for further review. His successor, President Felix Tshisekedi, has accused him of destabilizing the mineral-rich eastern region, while international observers point fingers at Rwanda for fueling the conflict. France's top court, the Court of Cassation, has annulled a 2023 arrest warrant issued against former Syrian President Bashar al-Assad over his alleged role in the 2013 sarin gas attack near Damascus. The court cited presidential immunity as the reason, noting that even serious charges like war crimes do not override protections granted to the heads of states. However, the presiding judge confirmed that the new warrant could still be issued since Assad was ousted in December 2024. At least 3 people were confirmed dead as Russia and Ukraine exchanged strikes overnight, according to officials in Dnipro and Russia's Rostov region. 1 person died in a high-rise building in Dnipro following a Russian missile attack, while Russian authorities said 2 were killed in a car fire caused by Ukrainian drone. Ukrainian cities, including Kharkiv and Zaporizhia, has reported extensive bombardment using ballistic missiles and drones as President Zelensky renewed calls for peace talk. In sports, the Super Falcons of Nigeria will face host Morocco in the Women's African Cup of Nations WAFCO final on Sunday, July the 27th in Rabat, aiming for their 10th continental title. Nigeria reached the final after a dominant 5-0 victory over Zambia and a 2-1 win against defending champions South Africa in the semi-finals. Coach Justice Maduka's team is out for revenge after losing to Morocco in the 2022 semi-finals, with key player Ajibade and Plumtree expected to play crucial roles. Italian giant Inter Milan are set to raise their bid for Nigeria's forward Ademola Lookman, €45 million next week, according to Corriere dello Sport editor Ivan Zazorina. Inter Milan, backed by €100 million summer transfer budget from Honour's Oaktree Capital, views Lookman as its top attacking target and has already agreed personal terms with the player. Despite initial resistance from Atalanta, the revised offer could seal the deal before the new season, with Lookman reportedly turning down Barcelona, Napoli, and Atletico Madrid. In a bold step to revive grassroots sports, the House of Representatives has launched a nationwide distribution of sporting kits across the 360 federal constituency in Nigeria. The House Committee on Sport, in collaboration with the National Sports Commission, say it is designed to promote youth participation in sports and facilitate talent discovery. Inyete Patrick reports.
At the flag-off ceremony in Abuja, Speaker Abbas Tajuddin commended the House Committee on Sports for the initiative, describing it as a shift from underutilized projects to meaningful youth empowerment. He stressed the importance of grassroots sports in reclaiming Nigerians' lost sporting glory on the global stage.
Let's go back to the basics. Let's go back to the grassroots. Let's go back to competitions at the grassroots level.
The committee chairman, Honorable Kabiru Amadu, said the initiative is aimed at increasing youth participation and discovering local talent, with every constituency set to benefit. He added that the next phase will focus on constructing mini stadiums nationwide to provide long-term infrastructure for sports development.
It is our vision to create a sustainable sport ecosystem that starts the grassroots level, provides opportunities for talent discovery, and ensures that every child, regardless of their background, has access to training, mentorship, and facilities.
So we have to make it sustainable. It has to be annual, it has to be sustainable. There is no any project that will reach the grassroots across the country as quickly as possible as what we are trying to do today.
Gradually now Nigeria has become the center. It's becoming gradually a tourist center for sports. We've been hosting international events. Karate is about to start again. But that will only work if NIS is back to life.
One of the major problems we have as far as sport is concerned is not the absence of skills. It is the absence of the facilities and infrastructure.
The distributed kits include football boots, jerseys, and training gear, marking what lawmakers call a strategic investment in Nigerian sporting future. Inyete Patrick, Global Television News.
Power, pride and perseverance are on full display in Abuja as the 14th African Arm Wrestling Championship and the 7th Para Arm Wrestling Championship have brought together 400 athletes from 20 African countries, turning Nigeria's capital into the battleground for Africa's fiercest grip on glory. President of the African Arm Wrestling Federation, Charles Osei Asibe, says the event marks a new milestone for the sports development in Africa. Samuel Odi reports.
The two sporting activities are organized by Nigerian Arm Wrestling Federation in collaboration with African Arm Wrestling Federation. President of African Arm Wrestling Federation, Charles Osei Asibe, and the President of Nigerian Arm Wrestling Federation, Engineer Samuel Jackson, explained that the championship not only promotes the sport's growing popularity on the continent, but also highlights Nigerians' capacity to host high-caliber sporting events. They both commended the organizers and the turnout, citing that event marks a new milestone for the sports development in Africa.
It's a work in progress. What is at stake? Nigeria to stamp its authority as a powerhouse of arm wrestling in Africa.
And welcome to the briefing to show what we plan to do and what we've done and what we need to improve on.
President of African Arm Wrestling Federation Charles Osei further called on journalists to do more in line with promotion and advise athletes to stay away from unlawful use of drugs to avoid disqualification in the championship, as that could be a barrier to qualify for Olympics and the All-African Games in Egypt come 2027.
What you offer them, if they perform well, what you offer them can take them to the next level. So please, let's change the orientation. It's not about how much you get, but it is about how much will be in it for you after you have performed.
President Arm Wrestling Federation of Africa, Chairman Local Organizing Committee, Honorable Ade Adeyinka, said the championship is a platform for recognition, inclusion, and a stepping stone to global tournaments such as World Arm Wrestling Championship later this year.
The championship is more than just a tournament. It is a celebration of African strength, unity, and youth excellence. As the athletes and officials arrive in Abuja, I am confident that this event will be a historic and high-energy showdown, with participants battling for the continental glory and crucial qualification spot.
The tournament continues throughout the week with fans and officials praising the electric atmosphere, tight matchups, and camaraderies that only sport can inspire. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
It's on Midday News. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channels 365 and Star Times channels 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on the screen using @Global TV NG. I am Ubong Usoro. Thanks for watching.